Most professionals spend hours every week doing work that AI can do in seconds. Claude is for anyone who types for a living and wants to type a lot less. Today on TechSignal HQ, we're going deep on Claude. Claude is an AI assistant made by Anthropic. At its most basic level, it works like this. You type something, it responds. But that description undersells it by a factor of about 100. Claude can read a 500-page document and summarize it in 90 seconds. It can draft an email in 8 seconds that would have taken you 20 minutes to write. It can review a contract, debug code, build a research memo, write a business plan, or generate a month of social media captions, all from a single conversation. What makes Claude different from a basic search engine or a simple chatbot is that it reasons. You can give it a complex, multi-part task, and it works through it systematically instead of just returning a keyword match. The interface is exactly what you see here. A text box, a conversation thread, no complicated setup, no software to install, just Claude.ai in a browser. It works on your computer, your phone, and there's a desktop app. Free to start, Pro plan at $20 a month for heavier use. The underlying technology is called a large language model, but you don't need to understand how it works to use it. You just need to know what to ask it, and we'll show you exactly that in a few minutes. Claude is genuinely useful for a wide range of people, but there are 3 types of professionals who get the most out of it immediately. First, anyone who writes a lot of professional communication. Emails, status reports, proposals, memos, client updates. A copywriter who tracked her Claude usage for 1 month found she saved 24 hours of work and recovered over $800 in billable time, just from using Claude to handle first drafts. The writing still went out under her name. Claude just removed the blank page. Second, business operators and solo founders running lean. One Practitioner Guide documents founders using Claude at the max plan to run what they call a content factory, producing 3 to 5 pieces of content per day, with the entire setup costing about $100 a month. The time saved, several hours every single week on autopilot. Third, professionals in document-heavy fields, legal, financial, insurance, healthcare. Hub International, one of the largest insurance brokers in North America, rolled out Claude across their teams and reported 85% productivity gains on targeted tasks with 2.5 hours saved per employee per week. That is not a pilot number. That is a production result. The common thread across all 3. These are people who spend the majority of their day working with text. Claude handles the mechanical parts so they can focus on the judgment parts. Here is what using Claude actually looks like. We're going to start with the most common task for most professionals, email. Step 1. Open a new chat. You'll see the message box at the bottom. Before you type anything, here is the single most important thing to know about getting good results from Claude. Be specific. The more context you give it, the better the output. Look at that output. Professional, direct, empathetic without being excessive. That took Claude about 8 seconds. Writing that from scratch, staring at a blank page, finding the right tone to deliver bad news. That is a 15 to 20-minute task for most people. Now here is where it gets more useful. You can have a conversation with the output. Same information, different format. No rewriting, just a follow-up message in the same conversation. One more thing to show you, and this is the feature most new users don't find for weeks. In Settings, there is a Profile section. These 2 text boxes let you configure Claude to know who you are and how you prefer to communicate, permanently. You type it once, and every future conversation starts with that context already loaded. Now, every conversation you have with Claude already knows your context. You stop explaining yourself from scratch every session. That alone saves 5 minutes per conversation, which adds up to hours per week for heavy users. Here is what is genuinely great about Claude and what is not. The writing quality is the best available. Independent blind tests have users preferring Claude's prose over ChatGPT's output 47% to 29%. That gap is real, and you feel it immediately. Claude's writing sounds like a person wrote it. Most AI writing does not. The reasoning is consistent. Give Claude a complex multi-part task, and it works through it without losing track. Give ChatGPT the same task, and you sometimes get confident nonsense halfway through. Claude is more careful about what it does not know. The 200,000 token context window means you can paste an entire contract, an entire research report, or an entire script into one conversation, and it holds all of it. That is roughly 150,000 words in a single session. Now, what is not great? The rate limits on the $20 Pro plan are genuinely frustrating for heavy users. Reddit threads are full of people hitting their weekly cap in 1 or 2 days of intensive use. If you plan to use Claude heavily, and you will once you see what it can do, the max plan at $100 a month is the one that actually feels usable without thinking about limits constantly. Claude does not generate images or video. For that, you still need ChatGPT with DALL-E or Midjourney. If visual content creation is your primary need, ChatGPT Plus at $20 a month is the better tool. Claude and ChatGPT are not really competing. Most serious users end up paying for both and using each for different jobs. For web research with live citations, Perplexity is better than Claude. Claude's knowledge has a training cutoff. Perplexity searches the live web. Use Claude to write, use Perplexity to research. That combination is the workflow we use to produce every episode on this channel. Claude is at claude.ai. Free plan to start, no credit card required. The link is in the description. If you want the full system, the tools, the prompts, and the 90-day roadmap for building an AI-powered income stream, the AI Playbook is in the description. $27, instant download, subscribe. Every Monday, we cover a different profession. Every Wednesday, we go deep on one tool, exactly like today. The weekly Signal newsletter goes out every Tuesday. Free, 5 minutes, one AI story worth knowing. Link below. You're closer than you think.